back? Can anybody hear us?
Nope, nobody yet.
Nope. Everybody's gone. Just talk to
You'll start
yourselves.
calling in. Yeah.
Oh man.
There's one.
We got
I'll
one.
say it just sent up. Oh, there's 4.
4. All right. Awesome.
Sorry,
about that.
guys.
Jeez. It's tough. We're sitting here struggling, sweating. I had to put on some more deodorant. I've been working so hard trying to get this thing going again.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking around. Apologize. It's
Jason,
kind of embarrassing, but it is.
Jason, I got your message. I'll send that stuff tomorrow to you. We gave away the second one too. You guys just missed it, I guess.
Yeah, I got it. I won. Sorry. Just kidding. Just kidding. We'll get that question out here in a little bit.
Hopefully before it crashes.
Yeah, before it crashes again. So this is going to be. You got a new computer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Greg's got a new computer. So next week, this should all be fluid. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's worst angler. We're loyal fellas. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, dude.
Yep. So we'll wait till we get back up to about 15 people in here, and then we'll go over to the second question. It's like fishing, you got to work at it. That is no joke. I'm just glad Gabe's here with me to see that it's not me doing it or messing it up. It just does it on its own.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Doug, I'm glad that football game didn't steal you away. I understand.
Foosball.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. It's like fishing. You got to work at it.
Hank Snow, how's it going, man? The show just won't be the same without the feed freeze.
It's part of the drama, especially when there's a giveaway.
Yeah.
And the winner is Freeze.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We just keep it going that way. We just give it away every week then.
That's right.
Just have to freeze it at about 25-minute mark. Full Armor Bassin, how's it going, man?
What's up, Fab? Man, if you guys get a chance, go check out Full Armor Bassin's latest video. It's really cool. He fishes this local lake in Virginia. Is that right? Anyway, he ran into Chad Hoover, the kayak dude. He was just fishing this lake, and it was early in the morning. He pulled, he was sitting waiting to launch, and here comes this whole kayak posse pulling up with all these cameras and all that. And long story short, it was Chad Hoover. So Full Armor Bassin got to meet him, and he's actually on one of his videos, one of his most recent videos. So go to his channel, check it out. It's pretty cool.
Yep, I definitely watched it. It was a good video.
Yeah.
And I told him his Full Armor is it Caleb? Is that your son doing it? Sorry if I messed his name. I thought it was Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb's one of his
Caleb.
sons.
Okay, he's doing on the video editing on it, and dude, that's awesome, man. He's coming a long way. He's really getting good at it.
Yeah, he is, and his kids are warming up to the camera pretty good too.
Yep.
They're hugging fish, and it's nice.
Yep, gonna be a really good channel. Let's see, Hank, we are doing just fine now that the live stream's back up and going. So
WWF said just let the original stream know that the 2.0 is up and running. Whatever. I'm not sure what that means.
all right, thanks, dude. He went back to the other stream and put it in the comments.
Oh, okay.
Okie Outdoors made it back again. Mike, big show. How's it going, dude? So we showed you guys one of the lures last time, but we'll show you what you'll be winning this time. I don't know if I want you to get up and show these or not again. I've seen what happened last
Bad
time.
luck with it.
I think Gabe's over here pulling the plug on my computer when I'm not looking.
Yeah.
So these are more of this one is the this is the Rumble, the B09. Show you guys here. You can see that. That's really hard to see, guys. I know. Sorry. And everything's backwards too. Cheap camera. So. And this is the B05, the Minnow B05. Actually, see that one a little bit.
Is that Table Rock shad color?
Yeah. So, and then another one of the small fry crawfish, the deep diver. Like I said, it's hard to see, guys. I know. Sorry. And then, of course, last but not least, More moccasin jigs. So got plenty of them to go. And the question is,
All right, you guys ready? This is gonna go quick. You guys are gonna get this really quick. So ounces. Okay,
with ounces, yeah.
with ounces. Okay, what was the winning weight on the FLW Tour event on Kentucky Lake in 2018, and who won? So who won the tournament, and what was the weight?
What was the weight with ounces?
Pounds and ounces. Kentucky Lake 2018 FLW Tour. And go.
Chance encounters are usually pretty good. Got to show those fish you love them.
Hey, moccasin. I went fishing for a little while. I got to try that little bedhead out. It's pretty cool. I like it. It comes through rock really good. Comes around wood really good. I got hung up one time. No big deal. So good product.
Mike said, "I don't need to see it. Just give it to me." Oh, white whale is on the right track, but we need to be told to wait.
Yeah, I better look at this.
Oh, wait. Oh.
There it is.
There it is. Look, Jason
back up
again, man.
Can you win twice in one?
He's on fire.
I think he can.
We didn't set any
Hey,
limits.
that saves on shipping. I mean,
yeah, that's true. Yep, Jason Beck got it again. That he's on top of his game tonight.
He's on it, man. He's a trivia master. Got a lot of answers coming in late here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug, that was the one day.
Jason said, save that shipping. Well, if we wouldn't have to pay guys like this salary, we'd be all right.
Yeah, that's right. I don't even get a discount on stamps. I always thought that was messed up. Any food place you work, you get like 20% off your food.
He says he's got faster internet.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
All right, Aaron, man. It was good seeing you.
Yeah, Aaron. Take care, buddy.
So, Jason, I will bag all that stuff up, and I will get that sent out tomorrow to you. Jason says, no lag internet. Well, at least somebody can say that. I can't. So. Oh, Mox said, appreciate it. Nice. So hopefully you'll catch some up north, Jason. A couple of them with a moccasin jig hanging out their mouth. That'd be great.
So anybody got any topics they want to talk about tonight? What's on your mind? Anything in the bass fishing news, or just anything? Just try to get something going here and talk about something here. Okie Outdoors, thanks for stopping by.
Battling a migraine. Haven't had much sleep since last Tuesday.
Oh, man, migraines are horrible. This up and down weather doesn't help either.
Yeah, Jason, hopefully you're feeling a little better. You had a blood pressure issue the other day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I didn't come in tonight with any really good topics to talk about. I mean, we always go back to winter fishing, but see what you guys have to talk about here. We're going to be freezing up here very soon, getting ready to do a deep clean on the reels and load up on tackle for ice out. That's a pretty good deal. That's actually one topic we could probably go over, stuff to do in the winter. I can tell you guys, like right now, one thing I'm getting ready to do, I just bought a bunch of mustad hooks. My square bill box I left on my boat overnight open back in the summer, had a bunch of dew in it. My hooks took a pretty good beating on that. They started rusting, so I'll be going through, replacing all them, probably looking at the split rings, probably replace some of them. And guys, if you don't have, I'm going to tell you right now, I've worked with little Nemo nose pliers for a long time, and I picked up these cheap little split ring pliers the other day for like $4. Go get the $4 and save your hair. Trust me. It is a whole lot easier. I'm not kidding you, man. I used to do it with some pliers that were probably about that big.
Yeah.
Little bitty needle nose.
Yeah.
And they worked okay, but as soon as you get close, to just snip off or slide off there. Those work a whole lot easier.
Yeah, the split ring pliers are a necessity anytime you're changing that stuff out.
Let's see, white whale. Oh, let's see this. UPS man brought my new Lew's Smash spinning rod today. I wanted to use it. Yeah, dude, I seen that. It looked pretty nice.
I went in. Bass Pro Shops had one of those, the luge reel that was on sale for I think $69. It was Black Friday. It was a Baitcasters Black Friday. I can't remember the model number. Anyway, I walked in there at about 10 o'clock thinking I was going to get one, and they were way gone. I mean, they got sucked out of there in no time at all.
White Whale says, anybody do any ice fishing? Around here, it's not very common. We usually don't get a hard enough freeze to freeze it thick enough to be walking out on. Maybe like, 5 or 6 years ago, I think we had one that was pretty good. It stayed frozen for about a week or so. But, I mean, other than that, we really don't get it good enough to freeze hard that we can walk out and ice fish too much.
Yeah, it doesn't stay frozen long enough to where you can get a day off to get out there. It's a week maybe, and usually then it's just 3.5, 4 inches maybe max. So it's kind of borderline.
Yeah, it's just enough to make you want to go out there, but don't trust it enough.
Hank, Snow Outdoors, what is your take on Shyrock's comment about bass anglers being sheep and BPT anglers being wolves? Whatever, man. He was just trying to buddy up with the big dogs, and I don't know. It worked out good for him, I guess. I mean, he got a lot of feedback on his comment. I don't know. I listened to Luke Duncan, Low Budget Life. I don't know if you listen to that podcast, but I'd recommend going and checking that out. He's definitely covered that very well, and he's got some good perspective on that. He had Gerald Swindle on there. It was last Monday. I can't remember when he posts, but it's a weekly podcast. But Gerald Swindle was on there, and they were talking about it. Highly recommend going back and checking that podcast out. It's Low Budget Life. It's pretty good stuff. I like Luke Duncan.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He tells it how it is.
Yeah,
he's pretty straight.
That's like Dudley. I like him too. Gerald Swindle's another guy. He just tells you straightforward.
Oh man, that podcast will have you cracking up.
I haven't listened to it. I need to.
I've listened to it 3 times. It's hilarious.
So Jason Beck says, "What's your guys' thoughts about the guys bouncing back and forth between the circuits?" I'll give my opinion right off the bat. I'll use Gerald Swindle for instance. We were just talking about him. Gerald Swindle, he absolutely struggled. A whole lot more than he probably thought he was going to. It's not, everybody thinks going out and catching them smaller fish is easy, and it's not. If you got them guys out there that can finesse fish, that fish shallow a lot of times, they're going to rule that circuit. And I don't think it's something that Swindle went in thinking about to begin with. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't think about it, but it's a hard deal to do. I mean, it's not easy to go out there and just catch one fish after another and keep up with them guys, especially when they're producing, 50 fish a day sometimes.
Some more.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. So it's just not his style of fishing. It just didn't work out for him. So, you live and you learn. You'll never know until you try it. So
I think, and another thing with Swindle, I think he really missed the crowd. That's probably the one thing with the MLF format that a lot of those anglers are missing is the weigh-ins. It's so nice to come in. You pull up in your boat, somebody drives you through the arena, there's a crowd waiting there, you get up on stage, you show your fish off. I mean, it's totally different with the MLF format. It's all done on water, and when the tournament's over, it's over. That's it. So they're missing out on a lot of that fan interaction. And the BPT tour is pretty secretive. They're pretty private. I've known a couple times when they went to Lake of the Ozarks. One time, a guy I work with who owns a house up there around the Larry Gale ramp, MLF was up there doing a show, and it was real secretive. They could talk a little, they mingled a little bit, but it just had that kind of, it wasn't a real big fan interaction thing like the FLW tour was and like the Bassmasters. So I think a lot of those guys miss that. And then there's the 5 fish deal. Some of those guys are they've been practicing catching the 5 biggest fish for so many years. It's hard to make that adjustment. And like Greg said, it's hard to catch 30, 40 small ones, pound and a halfers. I mean, you've got to there's no time for your mind to rest. It's just one right after another. You got to be constantly thinking.
And a lot of times you're looking at a lot of finesse fishing, wacky rigs, your finesse worms and stuff like that. Small square bills. I mean, you got to look at them smaller baits that catch a lot of smaller fish and catch them quick.
Right. And they
really limit your
I think it was last week, where they're going to change. I can't remember exactly how this was. They're having kind of a big bass addition to the whole BPT thing, where they have I can't remember exactly how it goes, but anyway, they're trying to introduce some incentive to catch bigger fish, because a lot of times in these tournaments, a guy's 30 pounds out, he just quits fishing, he saves his fish for the next day. Well, there's an incentive with this new tournament format to catch the biggest fish in the tournament, and it's a pretty good payout. I can't remember. I read the details, but I've already forgot it.
So who was it that caught like a 9-pounder last year?
I think Edward Evers did. There were several of them.
It wasn't Edwin Evers. It was I'm trying to think of his name.
Oh, Andy Montgomery tried to boat flip
a
9-pounder on a swim jig, I think.
Yep,
Jesus.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, they went to that lake in the Carolinas that was catching, they're catching a lot of big fish at those lakes. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Boat flipping a 9-pounder just insane.
Yeah, but it's not going to work very well.
So, David Selbeck says, Tackle Warehouse daily sales start tomorrow, he believes. That'd be a good one to check out.
Yeah, I need to get some line.
Well, Fishing says, I'm going to play around with designing some color patterns on crankbaits this winter. Going to sand them down and add some ink and then clear coat them. Well, that'd be pretty cool, dude. Make sure you send out some pictures.
Yeah.
Moxon Lures says, what do you guys think of the new tournament series coming? Can't remember the name. I think it's the National something. I know Paul with Cash and Rods is the owner.
Yeah. Big Al, who is the MC for the Anglers in Action Midwest Outdoors tournament circuit. I fished a couple of those down at Lake of the Ozarks. He's good luck. I don't know, man. That's a big thing to take on, and I hope it works out. He's got a lot of pieces of the puzzle he's going to have to put together. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I like the idea of it, but it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to get that all together. So what do you think about that?
I think they're getting too many.
Too many.
I think it's going to get to that point. You're going to have. I think it's no different than look at like the FLW, and then you got the BFL, and then the Coastal Series, and this and that. You have so many different platforms out there to fish,
right?
That none of the other ones are getting recognized. You're getting your top two, your Major League Fishing and your FLW, but that's about it. Nobody's really paying attention to the other ones. So I don't know. I think it's just getting too widespread, and I don't think it's going to be as important unless you're getting into a bigger series. Like I said, the FLW or the Major League Fishing.
It's going to take a while for them to build that up.
It's a TV coverage, and MLF didn't do but a live stream off of their webpage last year. You couldn't watch it anywhere else. So I think it probably would have went a little bit better if they would have did it on TV too. But I don't know. I guess you never know until they do it. But Jason Beck says, I want to get my hands on the new Smash Lose combo. Yeah, that thing looked pretty nice. Like I said, I've always said Lose is pretty dang good reel. You can't go wrong with them. He says, no ice yet, but soon here in Jersey. Jason, you can keep your weather up there, dude. I don't want nothing to do with that stuff.
Lock Tackle says, what? Another tour? Yeah, there's another tour out there. It's, 20? I don't think it's 2020. It's going to be 2021, I believe. I'm not sure exactly, but it's coming up pretty soon. They're trying to get it all together.
Yeah. So Joe Gross says, what's up, guys? Glad to see you hooked up with Moxon Lures. Their jigs are second to none. Waiting for the Knoxville show so I can stock up on them this season. That's awesome, dude. Yep, they are top notch. That's for sure. And I will actually be down there with Moxon Lures. I forgot the date. I want to say the 25th or 26th, Saturday. I'll be down there hanging out with them guys all day. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys down there.
I'll be delivering parcels.
He says it's the National Professional Fishing League.
There you go.
Tom says, I've just been watching all the podcasts about what's been happening in the tournament scene. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. There's a lot of changes coming up, that's for sure. I think everybody's going to be lost at the beginning of the season, though. Trying to catch up with all the new rules and new tours and everything else.
Did you know the National Professional, the acronym NPFL, there's also a Nigerian Professional Football League. So there's a little bit of a They got to watch that.
Discrepancy
Yeah, a
going?
little
Yeah.
bit of discrepancy. So I don't know how popular the Nigerian Professional Football League is, but
I don't know.
you never know.
Says, ever tried Texas Tackle split ring pliers?
Yeah, I have. My buddy Jonathan has a set of those.
Ooh.
They're he seems to like them quite a bit. I've used them a few times.
We just jumped big. Oh, no.
Did we?
No, I went the wrong way. Just an idiot. What's up, Joe Gross? Ever tried? Okay, Stray Cast.
Yeah, I've checked out Straycast. Yeah, I listened to
Bass Talk Live.
Yeah, Bass Talk Live is awesome.
Yeah.
There's several good ones out there.
I used
There's
to
Let's
listen to them
Talk
a lot.
Fish.
Yeah,
is a good
I like
one.
Let's Talk Fish. I used to listen to them guys a lot. I used to listen to a bunch of them, but those were back at my job. I was in a loader all day, so I constantly had radio going, and it was nice to listen to those guys. But I'm in an office now and kind of go back and forth between the yard, so I don't get a whole lot of time to listen to podcasts anymore.
Yeah, I'm out on the street probably 7-8 hours a day, so I'm listening. I got all kinds of podcasts I listen to. I listen to some Ike Live stuff.
I'm gonna start getting an iPad the size of a laptop carrier.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there to listen. I'll listen to some Sasquatch Chronicles if you're into that stuff. That's pretty cool. Podcasts. There's several good fishing podcasts out there. There's some just mindful stuff. There's all kinds of stuff. It's a unlimited world out there in the podcast world.
Block Tackle says Swindle neither Plunkett liked the format. I can believe that.
Right.
They struggled hard, really hard. It was hard to see professional fishermen like both of them go into that and just struggle that hard. But it just goes to show you how different people fish. I mean, that was the one thing I got out of that is seeing how different people actually fish, getting put under that pressure like that all day long, rather than just maybe the last hour or two of a tournament.
Yeah.
It was all day. So it really, I don't know, it really showed you a lot of different ways of people fishing, though. That's for sure.
You have to make decisions really, really quick in that format. You can't get behind. Yeah, Jason, that 50 grand buyout, that's what it costs for them to buy out the BPT to go over to BASS. So I'm thinking if that wasn't the deal, there'd be a couple more anglers that would probably jump. But we'll see here in a couple of years what happens. But as soon as they jump, there's more guys that are going to come in right behind them. There'll never be a shortage.
Okay, here we go. I saw G-Man at Bass University 3 years ago. He was the one that done the Earth guy that literally cracks you up. Oh, Down to Earth guy. Yeah, that dude is hilarious. I love his little video clips he puts out on Facebook all the time or Instagram or whatever. He's funny.
Yeah, he's full of it.
Yeah, I'd love to spend a day with him, but I'm pretty sure my stomach would hurt from laughing all day.
See, Block Tackle is a big MLF fan. It's good. I don't watch them all that much. And when they used to have, before their BPT, they had just a series. You could go to, was it My Outdoor Channel? It was a streaming service. I watched like 3 years worth of those, man. It was a big deal. I'd get on there and it was the uncut version. It was stretched out. It was a couple hour shows, and I really got into it. Back then, I haven't watched it as much lately. I watch BASS a lot. Actually, I can't really watch while I'm driving, so I'll just kind of listen to it. But I'll bounce back and forth between both of them.
It's hard to deliver mail when you watch your TV.
It is dangerous, man. You take out mailboxes, you run over people's dogs.
You just got to throw their mail in the yard.
Just throw it in the yard, yeah.
See, Block Tackle says business stuff upsets people. Money is moving and orchestrating everything. Yeah, that's a big factor in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, Jason, MLF screwed a lot of people. The Costa, there was a lot of them. There's a lot of stuff that was left on the table there. It wasn't good, but it'll all go away here in a couple of years. The dust will settle.
Tom said he's brought up the same thing on Alex Rhodes' live cast last week. Is that? I don't know what he was asking.
Yeah, it's all over the place right now. It's messed up. So Brian Thrift won the last tour, the cup. That's it. They'll, who knows? There may be another cup somewhere down the road, but as of now, that's it. He's the last cup winner. So no one will ever get a chance to win that cup again. Nobody knew that at the time either. That's what's
yeah, kind of sucks. But
it does kind of suck.
Moxon Lewis says, when the MLF came out, I was curious to see what the impact would have on the tackle market, with the anglers just firing numbers and not size. Like I said earlier, I mean, I think I would say probably your top two baits were any kind of finesse worm or a small crankbait. I think we're probably two of your top contenders in that deal.
In the MLF,
yeah,
or the BPT,
yeah.
Chatterbait was
Chatterbait, yeah,
quite a bit too.
So I don't know if it necessarily changed it. I mean, Moxon, you probably know more than anybody dealing with that business, but I mean, I don't know if it really made any difference. Well, Texas Bassmasters Classic still the best and will always be the best tournament ever. I won't disagree with that.
I won't either.
All right, let's see before we get lost here. He's talking to Dan, talking to Joe. I'll let you start there.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. It is going to take a while for everything to shake out in the circuits. It's kind of a mess now. It's different. I mean, I hate the fact that people are siding up, and that's one thing that you hear some of these podcasters talk about. And Gerald Swindle said that too. It doesn't have to be about BPT, MLF, MLFLW, or BASS. It should really be about fishing. These two leagues have opened up a lot of opportunities for different fishermen that are on the pro circuit, and they've got options now. Competition's good. It's messy at first when it first starts. People get their feelings hurt and people side up, but after a while, hopefully, it'll kind of start smoothing out, and it'll just be the new norm. Almost everything at first is different, is a rocky road, and then after a while it becomes normal, which is, one thing about Americans, we get over stuff pretty quick, and things move so fast that here in another year or two, it'll be all good.
Sorry, I just screwed that all up. You know how jumpy it is. All right, so Full Arm Bass said, everyone check out 10 Horse Monty's new vid. Gabe and Jerry were crushing bass in the cold. Loved it. Gave great hope for catching them in the freezing weather.
Yeah, that was a fun day, man.
On the A-Rig.
Yeah, it was on the A-Rig. Actually, I got an A-Rig video coming out Wednesday, so you guys can watch that. I just talk about some of the things that I've learned over the last couple of years. I don't fish it a whole lot. I fish it in the wintertime a little bit, and it's fun though, man. I mean, they knock the crap out of it usually, and there's a lot of little subtle things. You can't just go out and throw it down the bank and expect to catch fish. Those days are over. It's not that easy anymore. They're educated to it, so you've got to tweak it a little bit, and you got to really pay attention. It's fun though. It will wear you out though. You out there for 3, 4, 5 hours, but yeah, it was a good time. Appreciate it, Fab. I know you like that groove too.
Paul D said, I enjoyed watching Gabe and Jerry smash those fish on the A-rigs.
Yeah, thanks, Paulie D. Yeah, Jerry's a little bit better at that than me. I'm catching him though. It's
No, that's not what you said before the live stream.
It's got to practice. Got to keep practicing.
Does Jerry watch?
No.
Okay.
Jerry works on a computer all day long, and when he comes home, he wants nothing to do with the computer. I can't even hardly get him to watch the videos that he's in. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
All right. David says, I actually think Swindle and Brandon finished mid-pack 40s. Swindle says he left to help his nephew get started in tour fishing and bass opens, and Brandon just did not like the format.
Yeah. Swindle is his nephew, as you said.
Yeah,
he's fishing the bass opens, I think, and I think he missed. Well, he actually fished some opens with him, I believe. But yeah, you're right. I heard that too.
Tom says $50,000 was the upfront money. Thinking how much more it cost, all in the other stuff: jerseys, boat wraps, sponsored obligations. Yeah, it gets very, very, very expensive. I know. I don't remember who I was talking to. They were talking about on the boat wraps for a sticker, and I think it was like a I want to say a 16 by 30 or something like that. I think it was like 25 grand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Jeez.
So, I mean, their sponsors help them pay for a lot of that stuff. So I guess it's not too bad, but talking to why moccasin. There's one for you.
Okay, whitewell fishing. Hey, Gabe, I'm going to be focusing on jerkbaits quite a bit in the spring. I would like to get into your jerkbait brain. Slow rising in the spring, slow sinking in the winter. Brand's thoughts. Okay, let's think here.
A wide topic there.
That is. That's a lot to cover there. Let's see.
He doesn't say anything about suspending it either, does he?
No, I always want a jerkbait to be suspending or slowly sinking, you know. And yeah,
rising.
and you can fish a jerkbait all year long, but it's one of those techniques that people just kind of forget about. Honestly, I threw them around a little bit this summer, but I can catch them on a lot of different things in the summertime. So I'll get distracted and I'll go to more of my confidence baits. But in the winter, you know, once that water gets right now is prime. It's starting to get really good. I think once it gets about 50 on down to, you know, 38, that temperature range right there. And of course, the colder it gets, the longer you got to let that thing sit.
Stop and eat lunch or something, then come back and jerk it.
It gets tedious. You know, you got to have confidence in the area you're fishing. And the best way to get that confidence is to go to a lake that you're familiar with and go to an area that you know those fish will winter up in. And on those days when it's really, really cold, that gives you the confidence to slow down, because, you know, you can't cover water. You know, when the water's 38 degrees, 40 degrees, 42 degrees, you need to know what to look for.
Find a bait.
Yeah.
Schools.
Yeah, you know, yeah, that's a big thing. Like today, I fished Kincaid today. I fished for about 5 hours, caught 3 fish. You'll see the video. The fish were out in about 25 to 35 feet of water. That's kind of out of my range. I don't usually fish out that deep. I messed around with them. I had a blade bait. I had a Demiki rig. You know, I just can't stay out there. That's just not my dwelling. So I caught a fish on a jerkbait today, and you know the water was, what was it, 46 to 47. But kind of lost my train of thought here. I focused on the points and stuff like that out there, and in areas that I knew some fish would be in, and that's the only reason I was able to slow down. If I was just going to a random lake that I didn't know, you know, where the fish were or anything like that, it's hard to sit there and count for 7 seconds, 8 seconds. You know, you feel like you're just spinning your tires.
It is definitely a slow grind when it gets down colder.
Yeah, it is. It's tough to catch fish.
Tom says, I remember all of my side, your side block are bickering when the Bass Nation switched to FLW to become Federation Nation.
Yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah, but it's good now. So, like he was saying earlier, you know, it's a rocky road right off the start. You just kind of have to wait and see how it plays out.
Yeah, full armor bassin. He was watching that last video, and he got his drum pads. He plays drums too. He was just playing along with the music in that video. I thought that was pretty cool.
Whale fishing. Oh, let's talk whale. Rapala pulled out of the sponsoring MLF. I don't know if I knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Swindle's running.
That's a big player too.
Swindle's running a Phoenix now. He's a Triton guy forever. Phoenix, have you been in a Phoenix yet?
No, I have not.
They're nice. I've been in several of them. Been in 721.
The newest boat I've been in was actually Rodney's, his 2019 Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has a 250S on it, or 250
Pro XS.
I think that's what it was. And we fished out of it down at Barkley, and he decided to open it up when it was about 35 degrees out in the morning, and give me a nice wake up call with it about 70 mile an hour.
Single console, or
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Taking all that wind.
But that's been one of the nicer boats I've been in this past year. I would have to, if I was picking a boat though, I'd say probably one of the nicest riding boats I've ever been in was a 21-foot Triton. the guy had it. He had I forgot what the motor. It was a 4-stroke motor on it. That thing was so quiet, I didn't even hear it running back behind us. That's how quiet it was, just sitting there idling and taking off. It was real quiet, and that boat I've ever been in. But he had a lot of problems with that motor.
Well, the driver has a lot to do with the boat.
Yes,
it really does.
Yeah, I would not disagree with that. So Dave says thoughts on swim bait rod mainly for 168S waiver, 7.6 heavy, fast action, or mod fast. I would definitely not go fast action. Reason being is one, you've got a lot of weight there. When you're throwing that out there, one, you've got treble hooks, so you want a little bit of give to that tip. You don't want to be yanking them out of the fish's mouth. That's number one. Number two, when you're throwing that bait, if you've got a very, very stiff rod with a stiff tip, one, you're probably going to end up snapping your line. Two, it's going to be a lot harder to throw because your rod's not going to load up good. I throw mine on, actually, this year I threw it on the that new Shimano SLX, which is a medium heavy. And I really, really liked it on there. It had just enough action to it. It played really well, hooked up on fish, loaded up really well. So that's kind of what I lean to now. But the rod I was using before was actually the it was a
Was it a Ducket?
no,
Veritas?
no, the Bionic blade from Bass Pro.
Yeah.
I got that with a cheap combo. It was, I don't know, like an $80 or $90 rod, and it worked really well for that. But I definitely like the Shimano SLX a whole lot better.
This next question's for you too, from Jason, because Greg's all about the net heads.
All about no.
He's not a finesse fisherman at all.
No, I mean I'll throw I'll throw a Senko, I'll throw a finesse worm. Typically when I'm throwing them, it's weightless though. I don't do a whole lot of finesse fishing like with Ned heads and stuff like that. I will do it. I don't do a whole lot of it. So.
Yeah, I almost tied on a Ned today, but I was playing around with that bed head. I was trying to give that some time to get a feel for that thing.
Paul D says, do you pre-fish the lakes before the tourneys? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I don't get to do it to all of them. But I will tell you, it is a lot easier if you have a few places that you know fish are staging, that you can kind of go to and start your day off. If you know the fish are there, it's a little bit easier to stick there and kind of, plan your day out a little bit better, rather than just going out there and not knowing anything of where the fish are staging at, whether they're on points or whether they're in up close to cover or on rocky banks, or there's a lot of different factors there. So yeah, it's definitely worth pre-fishing.
And it changes every day. It changes. It can change throughout the day.
Yeah.
So it's you can't totally commit to what you found in your pre-fishing days. That'll burn you too. You get stuck.
Yeah, definitely.
You get stuck in one thing and there's something else going on. So you gotta fish the moment, right?
Yep. Like I said, my main reason I do it is just to find out where the fish are where they're hanging at on a lake, pretty much, I should say. Because I know a lot of times one place in particular we both fish is Crab Orchard Lake. And I will tell you, I hate that lake. Absolutely hate it. But it's a shallow lake, but the fish roam so much over there is what I've noticed.
Yeah.
So it's like he was saying, I can go over that lake and pre-fish for 2 days and then go over in tournament day and they were just completely blown out and somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the fish will back to your question, Paul. The advantage of having a local lake is if you fished it enough years, that fish move into certain coves and certain areas during certain times of the year. Specifically now because that's what's going on. If you've been on those lakes enough years, you have areas to go check in the winter time. So you're not running around trying to figure out, trying to fish the whole lake. You can focus on some little smaller areas. And that always helps you out in tournaments.
So Steven says, going tomorrow to throw the Rhino Ned head with the Demiki Armor Shad.
Look out. Go get them, Steven. Sounds like a killer combination.
Yeah.
I like those Demiki Armor Shads.
Yeah, they're
Look
pretty
a little-
nice.
Yeah.
As a co-angler, I don't get to pre-fish, but I do lots of online research and call around the areas where we will be getting info.
Yeah, that helps. That helps. Co-angling's it's kind of tricky. Even if you do it helps to go pre-fish,
Yes.
no matter what. But even as a co-angler, there's a lot of times where you're onto something and your boater is going to be doing something completely different. But in that situation, you still have some confidence in something you caught. You caught fish on the prior days. So you may be keyed in on to something completely different than he is, and a situation might arouse where you're able to, put what you learned the day before into play. So that's the advantage of being a co-angler and still pre-fishing.
Jason Beck, and check that link out right there. I just sent you. That is, you can go on there. You don't have to own a Lowrance unit, but you can go on there and look at the social maps. If you've got guys in your area that are running Lowrance, a lot of times that will upload their data to Insight Genesis. So it'll give you a contoured map of a lot of the lakes you're fishing probably. So
yeah,
go check that out and just look at the social maps. It's free, doesn't cost anything. That's a really good one that I go by.
Jason says, I never throw the same thing as the boater. I beat my boater many times. Yeah, you're right. A lot of times you want to throw something different. You want to just switch it up a little bit. I mean, even something as simple as if there's a jig bite going on, he's throwing a half ounce. You may want to drop down to even something as simple as a 3/8 or a quarter or a different color.
Just any different fall or anything.
Different fall rate. If he's throwing a jig, pitch a Texas rig something. Just give him a different look.
It's 202. We're fishing 3 new lakes. Oh, for 2020, we're fishing 3 new lakes for Bass Nation. Yeah, dude. Just like I said, go check that out. Like I said, it's completely free. You can get right on there, look at social maps. Not every single lake is completely mapped. I will say that. So, Snow. When you're jig fishing and you want to slow down your presentation, do you switch the weight of your jig or change the channel size type to accomplish that? Honestly, it's going to depend on my trailer, what trailer I'm using at the time. If I think they want a little bit slower presentation, a lot of times I will just change my jig weight. Mainly because my trailer, they're going after that trailer a lot of times, and it's the action that you're getting. So I try not to change that too much if I'm getting bit on it, or if I see them chasing or something like that, and then just kind of leaving it. I'll drop down on the jig size and then put on the same trailer.
Yeah. A lot of it has to do with how deep the water is you're fishing. If you're fishing out deep off of points, 15, 20, 20 foot, 25 foot, you're going to be throwing a 3/4 ounce, something bigger. But if you're fishing shallow, you've got a lot more options with a smaller jig or a bigger jig. So there's so many different variables, but I think Greg pretty much covered it on that. Yeah.
And Moxon, to answer your question about the video on the Carolina rigs, yes, I have done that. The main reason I don't do that though is when a fish, if you get into where they're finicky fish, a lot of times when they pick that up, they feel that weight. So the reason I don't put that bobber stop on top is to where they can just keep pulling line out. You'll feel the bite, but they won't feel that weight because it'll be sitting on the bottom and that line just going straight through that weight. So that's why I typically don't put the bobber stop on top.
And and another thing with that setup is when you get hung up and that weight, if you're pulling, that weight will slide up against your hook, and that allows you to get your stuff unstuck. Yeah.
I got called out a little bit on that from a couple different guys that didn't like it, but I'm telling you guys, it's definitely worth a try. If you don't want to take the time to tie up Carolina rigs and this and that, that is a very, very simple thing to do. And in my opinion, I think you catch more fish with it because they don't feel that weight. So now I could get blown out of the water fishing next to a guy that's throwing a real Carolina rig, but I mean, that's just my opinion.
I like that you can adjust your leader length
right
on that. I mean, probably the only downside of that is if you've got 17-pound fluoro, you're not able to tie onto a swivel and go with like 14-pound mono off of that. It's all one thing. That's probably the only downfall of that.
Let's see. I'll answer yourself there. Let's see where we are.
Yeah, Scott Martin just did a video on that Carolina rig.
Did he?
Yeah, he was watching your channel and he decided to do a video on
Are you serious?
it. Yeah, he did. Just
I'm gonna go look at that.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody else do it.
yeah, it's funny.
Man, I'm gonna call up Scott Martin and tell him what I
Turkey
think
County,
about stealing my content here. My tips. Chris says Google Earth and Avionics app are great places to check out for lakes. There you go, Jason. Or that is Jason. No, that's Chris. There you go, Jason. Chris helping you out a little bit more there. So, well, it looks like we're all caught up on comments, guys. So, we had a pretty good stream tonight. It's about an hour and a half stream. About 15 minutes of it was downtime, but
Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties.
yeah.
Appreciate you
Hopefully
guys sticking around.
Hopefully after tomorrow we don't have any more of that stuff going on. Like I said, got a new computer coming, which I will tell you guys right now, the editing in my videos will absolutely get a lot better. I had to show my wife last night or the night before, whenever it was, of what my computer actually does, and I'm going to show Gabe here in just a few minutes. But when I edit a video, my video is playing here, but my audio is over here. So when I stop it, I don't know where my audio is at. And that's why a lot of times I can't do a whole lot of editing to them, you know, any more than what I already do. So hopefully we'll see some better stuff. And looks like we'll see you guys next Monday. We appreciate you joining us.
Hey, one more reminder real quick. I'm posting videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and Greg is doing Wednesdays and Sundays. Is that right? Is that the plan?
Wednesdays and Sundays. Yep.
Wednesdays and Sundays. So just to give you guys a heads up, something to look for throughout the week. We appreciate everything, and thanks for sticking with us through these technical difficulties. Like Greg said, hopefully next week it'll be smoothed out.
Yep. And Dan Hell, just to answer your question real quick on the pepper chartreuse, as long as the water is crystal clear, yes, definitely. So Jason Beck, I tried Filmora, and I'm actually leaning back towards the Windows video editing. I like it a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to navigate. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next week.